Just give it a little bit of time here, see if anybody hops on. So far, just got the two bots. I just thought I'd do just a chat stream tonight. Out of town hotel. Give me something to do and get a chance to talk to maybe some of you if anybody hops in. I know I'm competing against quite a few people. Hey buddy. And Yummy Kung Pao Chicken, thank you for the follow. What I wanted to do is jump on today, and first of all, we hit 120 followers, actually 121 now, so that was pretty cool. Although I'm on my phones, so I don't know of a way to edit my goals. Doesn't matter. But I thought I'd just kill some time, have a little chat with anybody. I got a pirate. Emily, thank you for the follow. I don't know if you're just following from the thing or if you're actually on, but thank you. Good to see you. So what I'm doing, I've got a second phone here, so I've got the camera set up with one phone, and got this with chat, so I can kind of see things. 1:30, please. Hey Kit, how you doing? Good to see you. And you'll be glad to know that you're spray bottle free here, as long as you behave. Awesome. Is it getting cold up there yet? But anyhow, so I'm out, those of you just joining, I'm in a hotel out of town for work for a meeting tomorrow, which starts at 6:30, and I really didn't want to start the drive at 3 in the morning and come down, so I wanted to drive down the night before, stay at a hotel, that way make it a little safer, try to get some sleep. I know. And you guys were... I'm trying to remember where in Canada you guys were, general area, I don't need a town or anything, but you were south, were you down Calgary area or still just southeast of, or southwest of Edmonton? Yeah, that's what I was thinking that's what GM said, but I couldn't recall off the top of my head. Yeah, I used to go up, I haven't the last 2 years, well, since COVID, but we used to go up to old town called Vermilion, which was east of Edmonton, almost to the border of Saskatchewan. Used to go up there and waterfowl hunt every October. Actually, we were always there for Canadian Thanksgiving, so that was always kind of a little fun. So I get used to get 2 Thanksgivings every year, Canadian and American. So that was kind of cool. But I did have plans. I was going to try to stream yesterday, but that did not happen. I ended up waking up not feeling too well yesterday, and literally almost slept most of the day, just naps and just sleeping. I do feel better, a lot better now. But hey, buddy, yeah, Canada. The Canadians are in here full force. So I was going to stream yesterday morning to a site, mine site, but that didn't happen. Obviously, I wasn't feeling well. Then last night with the Los Posadas procession, I was going to do that, but obviously not feeling well. I did not want to go out and be in the damn cold and do all that, not knowing what was going on. Yeah, Sorrowfade lives in Saskatchewan, Kit. So yeah, I don't sleep very much. So it's yesterday was kind of a shocker, but I usually only get about 5 hours a night sleep. I just have a hard time sleeping beyond that. So I've always been like that. There's times though where I can sleep more, but yeah, yeah, I don't even bother trying to even stay caught up on sleep and whatnot. It's kind of pointless. You sleep a lot. Pirates need their sleep. Just remember, you can't bathe on your new couch, your new pirate ship. You can't bathe till you go to shore. Tired or hyper, no in between. The Canadians are not singing along. Yeah, the hey Boop, good to see you. Very good to see you. Oh, thank you for the resub. I really appreciate that. New couch is comfy. That's good. That's good. And it's still kind of funny how we turned it into, it's now Team the Pirate Ship. But anyhow, so I was going to do that last night. Las Posadas is kind of a really cool deal. It goes back to all the different churches in the area. It doesn't matter the denomination. They all get together, and they have a procession that starts at one church, ends at another, where they have a giant full-size manger scene in front of it. But they do leave the one, head down the street. That artist badge looks really good on you, Boop. Head down the street, stopping at a few houses, asking if there's room at the inn, because it's a Joseph and Mary. There's caroling along the way. They light the whole street is lined with luminaries, bags of candle. I think they're battery powered this year instead of actual candles, but it looks pretty cool. And then everybody's goes down the street holding candles. Do all that. They do that. Stop. They actually stopped at my house. I was one of the houses asking if there was room at the inn. If there was room there at the quote unquote inn, but didn't do it. I said I just wasn't feeling up to it. Didn't want to risk it. So, and then they go to the other church, and there's the life-size manger scene there, and it's a pretty big thing. I mean, hundreds of people show up for that, just to be in the procession. Then there's even more at the manger watching the whole thing there. A lot of fun. So sorry, just looking at my other phone here. With the like I said, just got so I could see what's going on a little better than the view. Whoops, gosh dang it. Hit the wrong button. Yeah, I really do think you need to change your name to Armelia. Yeah, I've got on the way down, I was been lurking in ads since he started this morning on his crazy 8-hour stream, and then would pop in, pop out, do different things, and then obviously Steggy went live. So on my other phone I had that going. I was kind of listening to that as well, and then the Hadson raided into Steggy, so I was actually pulled over at the time right when he started to raid. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then so I was able to copy a raid call and get in there as well, just for Steggy's birthday. So yeah, that was a long stream. Only 2 today, so I really haven't been on. That's all the Twitch I've been on today. Yesterday I really wasn't on. Oh, I did get on Anna's stream last night, sand artist out of Russia. When did I find Twitch? First of all, Huma, great to see you. I found Twitch music about June 2022, and I got it from my journey to Twitch. Started off with Marcus Veltri, actually. Watching his videos, saw the interactions, obviously with Rob Landis, and then Frank. Started looking into some of Frank's videos. Yep, no, Marcus on YouTube. And so I was started watching everything I could find. So I was watching all the Frank and Zach duet videos. All the Frank and Zach videos, and then started watching Frank's videos, and then saw that he was on Twitch. I think that's about how I went. And then I went over there. Thanks, Hoke. I appreciate that. Anyhow, so that's kind of how I got to where I'm at. So what actually got me also got me there was also gosh darn it. Why in the world am I blanking out? I just went totally blank. Hey, cat. Scat Cat is in the house. Gosh, why am I having a total blank here? Sorry, I'm just trying to fix something here on my. See if I can get to something. I don't know why I'm going blank. It doesn't really matter. But anyhow, so there's two people that kind of got me there. Then took me quite a long time to get on Discord from there, though. Wilma, thank you for the resub. Appreciate that, buddy. It's a lot nicer when can actually see the screen too because when I'm out and about in IRL stuff, sometimes it's really hard to see the screen depending on lighting. So it's nice to be able to see what you guys are saying and what's actually happening. So right now I'm actually using the Twitch app just because I'm in a hotel and have a great have a Wi-Fi connection. And so, Rain, how you doing? Good to see you. But I've been using the Prism app on the IRL stuff since you brought it to my attention. That's been very helpful. And I appreciate that, Huma. Yeah, just doing a little chat tonight. Killing some time at a hotel out of town for work. And just thought I'd kill some time and just catch up with people and have a little chat. So Prism does seem to be better as far as the IRL stuff, Huma, because it has to do the bit rate. I don't know all the technology behind it. but it's so with that lower bit rate, it doesn't drop, it doesn't freeze as much, so it'll hold your connection. Whereas, sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to prop this up a little bit. These others, everything here. Where was that? Oh, that was at the family property where I was at, and whom I mentioned it, and right there on the spot, I just downloaded it to try it without even knowing what in the world I'm doing, and it worked, and it worked well. So the only problem with it is I can't see when I'm watching that screen. I can't see any of the, I don't have really a chat. I can't enter a chat, at least not that I've figured out. I don't see any of the command stuff happening. Like when I had mods raid me out, and I couldn't even see the raid bar and like that because it's a totally different. The whole point of that is more to have a good connection. It's where it really helped. Now I did see there was a way you could actually zoom. I think it was half zoom. So it's on one time. You can do half zoom or half 0.5, and you can go 2 times zoom, which really helped on the camera a little bit, especially when I was at the property around the gold mine. That was helpful. Yeah, I need to figure out how to stream from the house and everything. So I've got the videos. I've got the Tahoe video that I took a month ago, and when there was just no signal up there, and I'm doing 2 other streams that day as well. Plan B and Plan C. But I'd like to show that video and narrate it because it's really, really cool. So it's the fall salmon run out of Lake Tahoe. So that was kind of cool. Really a beautiful loop that I did there. Yeah, I don't know. I just have to figure all that out. I just haven't done any of that stuff, and I need to get it all figured out. So it's a whole other thing, going from the IRL to doing that, to showing some of the videos I have that I've taken where streaming just doesn't work out because there's no signal. Graphics, overlays, those kind of things. I get all that figured out. I'm sure it's not that hard. Everybody does it, so it's not hard, obviously. But the Hadson, marathon streamer, how's it going, buddy? Great stream too, by the way. I think I was there. I think when I joined, you're like 15 minutes into your stream, and made it all the way to the end. So it was a nice stream. Cause I also have diving videos. I've got all these different things to show that I can show from trips. Yeah, I was laughing when you popped on his stream earlier, Starfade, and said, I think it was Jesus Edson, 7 hours or something along those lines. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a long stream. Long stream. Yeah, I know you said you were going to continue that later. And when too, when C# was saying that the audio from the game was a little funny, it was never funny for me. So I don't know what was going on there. It was still good for me, Adson. So, and your audio was perfect the whole time as well. Yeah, it's only 4:36 in the morning there, right? When I'm doing work stuff, I can, but not if it's not work related. Like that 20 was a week ago, or that was right before Thanksgiving. A 26-hour shift that killed me. Took me a while. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. It's harder to bounce back from that kind of stuff. Yeah, Bilbo's stream or her performance in Frank's Discord was pretty awesome this morning. All the Christmas music and everything else. It was just, she's always such a pleasure to listen to. I really do hope she streams on Twitch at some point. It'd definitely be fun. Yeah, and I got into Leland's afterwards too, because I kind of missed that. He had that raid train going on. Being out of it yesterday kind of put me behind on a lot of different things. So, but I do have, so this Saturday the 9th. So I came in and heard you talking about streaming. Well, I was talking about getting things set up so I can do some stuff from the house, the actual computer. Right now I'm at the hotel, but so I can show the videos and different things like that. I'm still got to work on. I still got VODs to get uploaded as well, but yeah, so that's the plan. But this Saturday, then, I guess that'd be the 9th, is the light parade in Sutter Creek. So that, I think that starts roughly around 6 or 6:30 Pacific in the evening. So I will be streaming that. Even if I'm sick as a dog, I'm going to stream that. Yeah, I've got one the one I did in Jackson, where I went all over the place. It broke it like 5 times. It disconnected, and then that was it that one? Maybe it wasn't that one. Oh, maybe it was, but I think I missed getting one of them in Handbrake because I got an error when I was trying to merge them all together in DaVinci Resolve. I know. The funny thing is, I don't do much swimming. I mean, I do not like. Let me rephrase that. I prefer not to swim in chlorine pools. I do swim in lakes when the occasion presents itself. But the nice thing about scuba diving, it's often referred to as a lazy man sport because you don't really exert a lot of energy when you're doing it. 'Cause, I mean, the whole point, you want to conserve your oxygen, and so you don't want to get worked up and different things like that. So you're really just mellow, just easy going when you're diving. That way you can get an hour underwater. Because if you get yourself worked up and different things like that with a lot of activity, so if you're just kicking all over the bottom, go, oh, there's a fish, there's that fish, oh, there's a turtle over there, there's this, there's that. If you're chasing all this stuff, you're gonna get you're gonna go through your air really darn quick. Yeah, the submersibles. So there is some training for that because you have to be careful because if you're on that, you're not paying attention. You gotta watch your depth. There's a lot to do. So there is some certification for that. I haven't tried that yet, but there would be some places where that would be beneficial if you're trying to cover a big area of ground. But a lot of times, especially when I'm on the reef, especially a coral reef, I'm trying to go slow because I'm looking for everything. I found fish that were the size, smaller than a pea, little baby fish. The video of that came out pretty blurry, but nudibranchs, all these different things are real tiny. Shrimp species, little different things are so tiny. I'm just trying to go real slow and be methodical and kind of look what I'm looking at. So, and then just the buoyancy, just basically just kind of you're weightless. I mean, even though you're wearing a weight belt, but if your buoyancy is just right, I mean, you turn to the left a little bit and you move to the left, turn to the right, you just do whatever. I mean, you could be upside down, it doesn't really matter. I mean, just trying to really focus on paying attention and not missing anything. Yeah, swam. I know you said you were in the service. I don't recall. Was it the Navy? Army. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's quite 8 years is quite a while. Yeah, and exactly what Hoke said there. Thank you very, very much for your service. Anybody who serves in any capacity, Coast Guard, any of the 5 branches, 6, I guess if we count the Space Force now, but or even community, just the firemen, the policemen, all those people that put it for the public. So no, there's no easy military jobs either. Even if culinary, I mean, I think Hemrocks and I had this conversation previously. I mean, even like culinary specialist, you're cooking mess for a bunch of people, so yeah, so some people know this, some people don't know this. So when I was younger, I was actually supposed to, not right out of high school, but 3 months out of high school, I was actually supposed to go in the Marine Corps. I did my initial stuff. I took it as I made, I shouldn't say I made the mistake. So they had that called ASVABs, I think it was, these tests. I don't remember if it was senior year or junior year. I don't remember when I took those things, but scored really, really well on it. So everybody was coming, knocking at my door, literally, trying to get me to enlist in one of the services. Come from a long, big history of Marines in my family, and wanted to go that route to get into Navy schools. At the time, I was very, very active in amateur radio, ham radio, and so I was looking to get into some of the technical schools for that. When I had a damaged toe, this is how silly it was. I mean, to me it was silly, but obviously it wasn't. And so I had a small bone spur on my toe from getting smashed in high school, like my junior year. And so the initial review at, I think it was called MEPS. I'm pretty sure it's called MEPS. It's been a few years. Everything was fine, all that stuff like that. And then the day when I went to ship out, there was another physical, if you will, and they went through everything like that and saw the spur because they could see the little raised spot there underneath my toenail. And they wouldn't take me. It wouldn't take me from there. So it was that was a real shocker because everything I had was planned around from the service. So that was my college. That was, the GI Bill and everything, and plus the Navy schools and plus the experiences. It all worked out for the best. I mean, it is what it is. I was disappointed at first, but c'est la vie. Can't cry over spilt milk. So you just gotta pull up your boots and move on. So anyhow, but that was kind of a shock at first, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about that because it was, like I said, it was all my plans were centered around that and my course of my life. But like I said, all worked out for the better. About gotten this job now that I've been out for a little over 20. Good God, I've named that 22 years now. So with electric utility, so it's demanding, but I enjoy what I do. It's afforded me a lot of different things. Fair enough, Hoke. Fair enough. Yeah, it's I I was hoping to like I said, just the education and the experience, and I had the desire to serve my country, always did. So yeah, I had one grandfather that was in. He was stormed the beach at Normandy. That was my dad's side. Then on my mom's side, my grandfather there, he was in the Pacific, island hopping everywhere, just trying to push back the Japanese at that point. And then he was also in Korea. My other grandfather at that point didn't go to Korea, but my grandmother, also on my mom's side, my mom's mother, she was actually a woman Marine, down in Oceanside, California, down there driving a truck. So she was a transport driver. So there was not a lot of women that say that they were Marines, but it was to know one and to be a part of that family. But all of my family has been in service at one point or the other. I mean, my dad was not military, but he was in law enforcement his life, and my grandfather, his dad, became a firefighter. Very rare thing. Very, very rare hoax. Very rare. And then, like I said, but before that, I mean, I've got family buried in France from World War One. I've got family, unfortunately, in some fashion, cousins or uncles, things like that. I've lost. I've got family that's passed in World War One, World War Two, Korea, Vietnam. A cousin of mine in the not the '91 Gulf War, but this last stuff here after 9/11. She was killed in Iraq by an IED. So a lot of family have been in the service of different shapes and forms. Yeah, it was. Hey Sue, of course I'm still alive. Yeah, yesterday though I was telling them earlier, Sue, I just slept. I don't know. It almost felt like a cold was coming on. It was kind of weird. It was a weird sensation. But when I woke up in the morning, I knew something was wrong right away because I didn't wake up till 6, and I never sleep that long. And then you have, yeah, no choppers tonight. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, but then, like I said, I knew something wasn't right when I woke up at 6 because I never wake up that late ever, even on the days off, and just didn't feel quite right. And going back to bed after tending to the chickens, getting them going, and went right back to bed. And the God, I don't know. Slept almost all day. I wasn't in any streams last night until super late when I got in a sand experiment in Anna's stream. Yeah. So it was, yeah. So it's been a lot of military background and such. So I have a lot of mad respect for anybody that serves in any capacity. Like I said, whether it's in the military, whether it's through law enforcement or various things. Um, I've got two brothers in law enforcement at this moment. So one of them actually lives is a state trooper and lives in the same town that Allie Hustle lives in, there in Missouri. So which that one still kind of cracks me up that I know exactly where. I mean, she probably would think that nobody in the world would know where that little hodunk little town is, and here I am knowing exactly where it's at and actually have family that lives there, um, in southern Missouri. So yeah, I know she was kind of. I think at the first was kind of like, ooh, yeah, yeah, just yeah. I mean, I know all those little places, so I've been going back there my entire life. My family. I'm not from there. My dad retired, went back there, even though he was born in California. But my grandparents on his side were from there. My great grandmother on my mom's side was from there. I mean, a lot of my family is from there, so it's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, so going back to what I was talking about earlier. So but prior to which a lot of people don't know, is prior to I talked about potentially going to the service. Yeah, I still cracks me up how I got that random. I didn't even realize my sub expired to Steggy until I saw your gift sub. Um, but prior to when I was supposed to go in the service, and I think it was September, October. I don't remember when it was, a few years ago. But I went to a buddy of mine from up north, and he's no longer with us, but in California where I live. He and I used to be very active in amateur radio, as I mentioned a little bit ago, ham radio. But he and I got with some Russians back back then, and then we went to we put together a deal where all we had to do was get there, and You talk about Stegi, Sorrow. We did it to get to Russia, and then they would basically take care of us from there. So we got there, but the whole intention was to do a joint operation within Mongolia. So my buddy Dwayne and I, he took his family at the time. I mean, I was just barely turned 18, so and that was a trip and a half right there, which I'll go into in a second. But the once we got to Russia, then we went to Mongolia, met with our Russian friends there, radio operators, and went to Mongolia and operated. We're the first Americans to operate radios in Mongolia, ham radios. But I was actually started off in Mexico. My dad took me to Mexico for a graduation trip. Cabo San Lucas, we went deep sea fishing for graduating high school. Got back into LA from that trip. Then 5 hours later was on a plane going to New York, JFK. And from JFK we flew into Helsinki, Finland, which I was there for just a day. And then from Helsinki, Finland, flew into Moscow. Met one of the guys there, the Russian guys there, and I'd never seen these people before, so this was just kind of all random stuff. And there we got on a train. We hooked up with my buddy Dwayne, he'd actually been traveling in Europe with his wife and stepson. We met all together, and then we finally met up there in Moscow. Then took a train to a town called Samara, in decent ways into Russia. We were on it overnight. I don't remember the exact length of the time on the train, but it was a long time. And actually stopped in the forest at one point. One of the stops, we stopped in the forest. I remember these older ladies came out of the forest with these little, I'm gonna call them baskets, or little thing they made out of paper, like little cups, and they were filled with berries, that they'd picked obviously in the forest or whatever, raspberries, some other kind of berries and things like that. It was really, really cool. Of course, we bought some from them and continued on our way. Once we got to Samara, literally, I jumped in. If I remember right, I jumped in a little quick bathtub deal they had there at their apartment. Then we got on another plane, Dwayne and I and the two Russian guys, and flew to Irkutsk, Russia, where we then got on a very, very tiny plane to fly to Ulaanbaatar. And on that plane, there was actually two goats. I always think that was kind of still the funniest thing, a little prop plane. People bringing on goats on a plane. But it was an experience. I mean, because I literally traveled for almost 4 days, well, basically 96 hours continuously on the move, with little tiny, maybe an hour or two breaks in between. The biggest break I think was the spot in Samara. Was able to just kind of take a quick bath shower thing and then get on the road back to the airport again. It was pretty crazy, but it was an experience of a lifetime. I mean, the Russian people were incredibly friendly and generous. I was most of the people I was the first Westerner they'd ever seen that far away from Moscow, and Dwayne, both of us. And then we were down there, like I said, we were in Ulaanbaatar. We're talking, everything was still communist in Russia. It was still USSR at that point. This was 1991, and so everything fell a few months later. I think October 91 is when Russia started collapsing. But we were the first Americans these people had ever seen, so it was really cool. I mean, everybody just treated us. I was thinking the wall started falling though previous to that. I was thinking that was like, I don't remember the year, but that was around, I want to say 89 or 90 when the Berlin Wall started falling. But I don't recall. I mean, because it would have. I'm just trying to think. But anyhow, I might be wrong on my time frame. It's a little bit off there, but anyhow, yeah. But it was a really cool experience. Yeah, I don't know if it was that early. I'm just thinking of the famous Ronald Reagan speech to Gorbachev, and tear down this wall. But I'm going to say, I've been thinking it's probably like 89. I mean, probably someone could Google it real quick, but I mean, not that it really matters. 89, Edson? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was somewhere around that time frame. But yeah, it was amazing experience. I wish I had known some things now that I knew, wish I knew now, knew then what I know now. In Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, there is the world's largest dinosaur museum. No clue it even existed when I was there. I mean, I would hit that up in a second. This gives me another reason to go back someday, I guess. But it was an incredible time. I mean, it was great. Other than the fact that nobody spoke any English, there was no, not in the form it's in now. So, like even in the radio time frame back then, we had RTTY and radio teletype, and there was some different things we used. Kind of I mean, internet in a way existed then, but not normally to everybody. But we had, not for common folk. But we had no smart devices, none of that kind of stuff like that. I was 6. The We had met a family there. So it was myself, Dwayne, and the 2 Russians were there. But there was a family there, husband, wife, and daughter. But they were Italian. But they were like the only ones, quote unquote, Westerners that were there besides us, at the airport, and they ended up being there at the hotel where we were. At the time, obviously, it wasn't a big tourist destination, so there wasn't a lot of hotels and such. Yeah, I do remember it on TV. I remember seeing that, I mean, the images and whatnot from that. I did not have to ride horses. I wish, if I go back, there's a lot of things I'd like to do. Obviously, we didn't venture too far out of Ulaanbaatar. Everything was pretty much there in the town. The host family we had there, even though we stayed at a hotel, I like hummus questions. They're awesome questions. They were fantastic. I mean, we were over there constantly. They were making us, cooking for us and different things, authentic foods and just amazing, amazing stuff. And the hospitality. We did get a whole bunch of the sweaters, cashmere sweaters. I brought back a whole bunch of cashmere sweaters for family because they were. I mean, we went to this meal there in Russia, or excuse me, in Ulaanbaatar, and had this. I mean, this spread. I mean, this feast, with the exchange rate and everything like that. I mean, it was like we're talking like 7-8 cents. I mean, it was insane. But these cashmere sweaters, the one guy's wife worked. I can remember they made the sweaters, but at this place there, but buying these sweaters from like that for nothing. I mean, almost nothing. Almost felt bad, but try to give them a little extra. But I did that earlier. I did that the other day, Sue. I was doing something and set the phone down. Next thing you know, I was like, "What in the world?" And I was totally off Twitch. I was off everything. I was in the middle of a stream. But it was. I mean, they almost got insulted. You try to give them a little extra money, so but their hearts were just genuine. They were gold. Just amazing people, and definitely want to go back. But so I've got the dinosaur museum there. I'd like to get out into some of the different areas. Maybe Gobi. See some of the yurts. There's also some rivers there that are famous for. They're a trout. They're in the salmonoid family, but these things are monstrous. We're talking, 4, 5, 6 foot long. Make salmon look like shame. But those are there in that place. You can fish from there. You catch and release, obviously, but I would have loved to have done that. So I do love to fish. Give me 1 second. I was talking, get a little dried throat. But it was a time of my life. I mean, and we were there. They tried to get us to go down to Vietnam. I was game. My buddy Dwayne wasn't going for it because his wife and hey, no worry, Hoke. Appreciate you. Yeah, because his wife and stepson were still back in Samara, so he didn't want to leave them there. But yeah, me too. It starts at 6:30 in the morning, so it's a regional meeting. So it'll be a long day. Then I got to drive from there all the way home, and nice 3.5 hour drive back home, and then I have my daughter's Christmas concert tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to that. So it'll be fun, definitely for sure. I'll miss GMO's stream, but I'll have the at least I'll have the her concert's more important than anything. So yeah, I'll try to take some pics if I can. It'd be fun. But we'll see how they do. I don't know. All these kids, they've only been playing instruments for 2 months, so it'll be fun. So, and then I'm not going to Vietnam. Like I said, I would have loved to have done that, but we went back, spent 3 more weeks in Russia, or in Samara. That went up to, at the time it was Leningrad, now it's St. Petersburg. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. Spent some time in Moscow. We're in St. Petersburg. We went to saw ballet, Russian ballet, Swan Lake, if I recall. So yeah, have a great evening, man. Thank you very much for popping in. I appreciate you very, very much. But it was nice. It was really, really cool. When we were in Samara, that's where the 2 guys lived. There was a chocolate factory there, so they arranged a tour for us, but they literally shut down the whole place for us. Who popped there? Hey, Allie, how you doing? We were just talking about you a little bit ago. Not in a bad way. But no, we're just talking about my family in Missouri, and how strange it was that I knew exactly where you were, and probably it was strange for you too that I knew exactly where that was. But they give us a whole tour of the factory. They closed it down and literally had this. I've got pictures of it somewhere, but they're probably. I'm looking over trying to judge this hotel room, the length of it, but there's probably a 60-foot long table just laid out with all the different types of chocolates that they made there at the factory, and they had basically to help yourself, whatever you wanted to try or whatever. Give us a whole bunch of the wrappers that were before they went in the machines. So that was kind of cool. I have some of those still, but those pictures are all on an album. And it was so I'm gonna have to dig that out one of these days and figure that out, because in that same album is the pictures of the all women, older women road crew out there asphalting the road in Russia too. That was really cool. I know somebody had been asking me before that. I think it was Ridla. I think actually, although I don't recall. Yeah, but it was that was a great experience. To spend that, like I said, the 4 days traveling, the week we were in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Then I spent just a tad over 3 weeks more in Russia, Soviet Union at the time, and then I went to England and spent 4 days, I believe it was, down in Winchester, England. That was a lot. That was a blast. And I stayed with a friend of mine there, so it was really cool. Yeah, Russia was really awesome. I mean, the people there were just, this is still Cold War time and stuff. Like I said, this is before Russia kind of collapsed. There was nobody that wouldn't give you the shirt off their back. I mean, it was literally that welcoming. Everybody was just really kind and friendly, generous. I did a lot of bartering. I took tons and tons of stuff with me. I had a friend at the time that was a rep. He repped some cigarette stuff, some other different things, like for stores and stuff, but he got me a whole bunch of different things frisbees that might say Camel cigarettes on it, just different things. And I took a whole bunch of stuff with me, and did a lot of bartering. It was a lot of fun. During the pandemic, I bought a 35 millimeter film. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we had a lot of vodka. If that's what you mean by Russian water. We had a lot of stuff that was homemade there, but we drank vodka nonstop. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we were drinking it all the time. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you have coffee, and it's not coffee like we have now today, but it was you have coffee and you'd have some berries and some different things. Then we had the vodka. I don't remember drinking any Russian beer while I was there, but a lot of vodka. Oh, good God, vodka. I remember drinking some sodas that they had that were I hesitate to call it a soda, but that's the closest thing because it wasn't really like seltzer water, but the it was like an apricot, and there was some other different flavors and stuff. Um, they were really good. They were really really good. I think I've got some pictures of some of those things from somewhere, and then just the really good stuff we were eating nonstop. Was really really good. The When we were in England, of course, we spent tons of time at the. My buddy took me to the. We spent a lot of time at the pubs. We were at the pubs nonstop, so that was really cool. We were getting off in London and taking just. He said, "Find this train and get on it." And I was like, "Thank God it was English," so I was able to understand finally a language. But yeah, not many pubs over there. They were everywhere. But I remember I took the train. He said, "Get on this train." I don't remember what it was, and get on the train and popped out in Winchester, and he was there. And because he used to live not too far from me. He used to live in San Jose, but at the time he worked for I want to say it was IBM, but he was over there for work for a year assignment, and then he picked me up from the train stop, and stayed at his house, and also operated radio from his house as well, from his radio station. That's how I knew him. And he took me to the various places. Went to Winchester Cathedral, went to Stonehenge, and a few other places. Pubs being one of them, but I was trying to remember anything else. But like I said, we didn't really get a chance to see. I didn't get a chance to see a ton of England like I would like to have, but that's. I'll be doing that at some point. Got too many friends over there now. So, I mean, because prior to Twitch, the only friends I had over there, they lived up, I can't remember the name of the town they live in. But way to the north of you, Addison, kind of in the center. But yeah, there is. In Nicaragua, it was beans and rice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and tequila. Yeah, tequila, I'm not much of a tequila drinker anymore. That Mexico trip, I'm not sure when you came in on this, but that Mexico trip for my graduation, I ended up drinking way, way, way too much. Hi, bye Loyalty. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you. Drank way too much, got sick, and especially, I didn't get sick the night before, but we went deep sea fishing that next morning, and that was it for me. I just couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. I don't get seasick, but that's when I got sick, so it was not too much fun. Yeah, bourbon and whiskeys are my thing. So my number one probably go to that I drink all the time is Buffalo Trace. I do drink Pendletons. I do drink some. Let's see. Well, for Canadian, I drink Gibsons. I have some Gibsons 12-year rare that I've been drinking, which I think I'm down to my last bottle on that. Maker's Mark, things like, but those are my basics, But Pendletons and Buffalo Trace are definitely my go-tos. I drink some Balvenie, which is Scotch, Bushmills, Jameson, Makers, yeah. Weller, I drink some Wellers once in a while, which is yeah, Knob Creek. I forgot about that. Bullet bourbon, I do drink that, and the Bullet whiskey. Irish girl though. Belvany, and he pops in here. Mine, Mr. Woody. Good to see you. You know, it's still pretty early there, Woody. You should be sleeping. Well, thanks to you, a lot of us drink it now. Like I said, you should have a get commission. Yeah, loyalty. That night just cracks me up. I know we kind of talked about it the other day. I don't remember what we were doing when that came up, but you know, the 500K stream. That ended up getting a chaotic night. 'Cause I know I got on there a little bit. I didn't know I got on there. You too, Woody. It's good to see you too. The that 500K stream. I know I got on a tiny bit late. I think I got on from work late, and then took a look. You know, I had to catch up. Yeah, I know the moonshine. So I know growing up, like I said, I've been going back through all my life, but my great uncle, I mean, we always had jars he always had jars in the garage. So it was always a thing we always were drinking. And of course I know that they've got the moon, like we talked about in your stream, Alley, but the moonshine store there down at the landing in Branson. But even back there now, I mean, I know I got a lot of family friends that make some stuff. Loyalty, thank you very much for popping in, buddy, and have a good night and have a good, safe day at work tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the spelling there, Woody. But yeah, yep. I don't know what we were talking about before we got. Oh, we were talking about the pubs and different things, but yeah, it was a good. Oh my Lord, Hounded Soul, how you doing, buddy? Dude, it's late there. Did you have to work today? Oh, vacation, nice, nice. You just starting vacation this week, or you've been on vacation? Oh, nice. It's good to have a break because I know you work a lot. So, Huma, you had some great questions earlier. What other questions do you have, Huma? I know you got some more. Well, I do like when people ask questions. It's good. Have you done any diving, Huma? More, I'm not quite sure. More wild live as we don't know about where you live. I mean, obviously the trip I just talked about was a blast. The Russia Mongolia trip. No use, Edson. That trip was amazing. I enjoy thoroughly going places where I can learn things, even if it's driving across the country, like I did this summer. You know, we drove to Georgia, back up to Missouri, then up, you know, took the southern route to Georgia, then back to Missouri, then took the northern route 80 back home. So big loop, and we're able to stop at Fossil Beds National Monument. That was a lot of fun. Trips to the Caribbean, the Hawaii. No, don't get these putting ads in here. Going to tag team me. I see that. So all those trips I take, I try to do that. Like even in Hawaii, there was in the Big Island, Hawaii, which is my favorite. There's 5 national parks, different things of various sorts there, and I've been to all those and learn. My daughter, take her learn some things there as well. Try to turn into a history. But the going back here, I need to count them, Huma. I'm not sure how many states I've been to exactly. It's a lot. I'm going to guess 37, 38-ish. No, it's got to be lower than that. So, Evil Dead Ed, thank you for the follow. Let's see, I've not been to, well, I can't say that because I have been that. So it's mostly New England. I've not been to Wisconsin. I've not been to Michigan. I've not been to Indiana or Ohio. I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland. There's not many. There's some states, Michigan. I've not been to Alaska yet. I've not been to much of New England as far as. I've not been to Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Delaware, Rhode Island, Maryland, Massachusetts, not Maryland. Yeah, but Ohio's not necessarily something I would just go to. It's kind of off the beaten path. I mean, it's not like you fly into any airports there, going anywhere. It's like it's kind of in between. I mean, there's anything wrong with Ohio, but I do want to go there at some point. Hounded. Yeah, it's just one of those things. There's no easy. Like on this last trip, we were trying to think about driving. I was like, okay, where do I want to drive? Coming back from Georgia, sweep around and go into and catch some of the states. I'm like, well, I've already been to South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, those things like that. So I'm like, in order to catch a new state, I would have had to go all the way up to Ohio. And I wasn't prepared to do that just because of the extra time it was going to be added on to the driving. But I would have caught Ohio and I would have caught Indiana at the same time, and my daughter as well. But I decided against that. It was just too much of a delay. I was more of in a hurry to get to my dad and my family and spend some time with them. Yeah, Steggy. Well, my good friend that I go diving with, I actually met him diving on a trip in Turks and Caicos once. He is a instructor, teaches pilots for UPS, and he lives in Indiana. But they do all that training right there in Louisville. You talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Allie, thank you so much for popping in here. I appreciate your time and that you came here. I really do. Let me get back here. Let me see this other thing here. Air 416, welcome in. I've never been, so I couldn't answer that question. Hounded Soul might be able to answer that because he's the closest one to any of that. That's Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, Canton, Ohio. Exactly. but I don't know anything about the costs of either one of those two states. Like I said, 'cause I'm in California myself, so I can't speak about Michigan and Ohio prices. But the dive trips, I do a lot of the diving trips is where I've kind of been spending most of my big trips lately, last few years. Gas was cheaper where you are down in Ohio, Hounded. What was it? $1.46 a liter there. See, Uma, I can. Maybe you didn't catch when I was streaming from my airport stream that I did. Well, I think it was my airport stream, but I actually, when I was in Honduras, when I started this streaming adventure, which I didn't even plan on. I kind of showed some of the stuff on the boat and whatnot. But when I was I know at the airport, I showed all my diving kit. Everything's in a backpack. Everything. Everything's well except my dive knives because you can't carry that on, and it goes around my back and I can carry it on. It's so much easier, and I'd rather have my own equipment by far. Really easy to carry all my stuff. But I have the BCD, the regulator, dive computers, camera, wetsuit, fins, mask, snorkel, my booties. No, you don't take any tanks. Let the tanks there. But I'm talking about everything but the tanks. Same thing here, Woody. It's not cheap in California. I mean, it is not cheap. It's a little bit a smidge cheaper right this second. Weights, I don't take either, Huma. Sorry, I should have clarified that. So weights and tanks, I get wherever I'm going. But everything else is there. Yeah, it'd be silly to take weights. I have weights at home, but I just don't take them with me when I go flying. But everything packs up into a nice little small backpack. Like I said, everything's on there. Yeah, the tanks. It kind of depends on how you're diving and what you're doing. If you want aluminum or steel tanks, or you can get carbon tanks, but aluminum, 80 liters is what I dive with typically, and the fittings are pretty much universal. The only thing is there's some different. There's a few fittings are different. Most things are the same. I mean, you fill your tanks either PSI or bar, depending on what way you're going on. Yeah, there's a few in the world that are different. I understand that too, but most of them are pretty universal now, for the most part. But like I said, the tanks, just rent those. You get there, and I dive if I can. I dive nitrox, unless I'm trying to dive to some depth. Because the nitrox will let me have better bottom time, but I don't have the depth. And nitrox is just a higher percentage of oxygen in the mixture. And those are different tanks. They'll have the yellow marking, yellow and green markings on them, indicating the nitrox gas. But I do have, so far at the moment, I've got 2 trips planned for 24. I've got, let's see, Honduras is back in September of 2024, and I've got Hawaii. I don't remember the dates exactly, but that's like first part of July through July 4th. Actually, might be the end of June into July, past July 4th. Like 9 nights or something on the Big Island. So I'll get some diving in there, but there'll be definitely some good places to stream there. Getting very, very fluent with that Well, there'll be more streams before that, Sue. It's just those are as far from home streams. Because you get all the different national parks. There's different things. You got Black Sand Beach. I won't go to Green Sand Beach and stream. That's just a little complicated to get to. Um, some waterfalls. There's just so many options there. And I've been there enough now that I'm pretty fluent and easy to get around and know where things are. One of my goals someday is still just trying to figure out how to stream. Yeah, out of the country streams. Well, Hawaii is still in the country, so I'll give you a thing, but I know what you mean there, off the mainland. Um, a goal is still to be able to stream underwater. Yes, you can, Huma. There's ways to do it. I just can't do it the way we're thinking about doing it. So you'd have to. I've kind of looked into this. So you can video. I'm gonna have to have. I'm not gonna be able to necessarily see what's going on with you guys, but it'd be somebody tending. That's exactly it as a line. So I could have the camera feed is going to need to go back to a dry spot, a boat. Well, I use a GoPro and stuff like that now to record everything, but you can't stream it underwater like to Twitch. I mean, that's just not gonna work. So so I have to have a camera underwater with a line feed going up to the deck of the boat. If I change my mask, I could do obviously voice and stuff like that. But obviously somebody on the boat's gonna have to manage the stream and all that kind of stuff and figure that out. But there's gonna need to be some kind of communication involved with at least with the top side down to me. So, but I do film all my dives currently with a GoPro. Well, you can always vacation through everything, Sue. So, like I said, I'll definitely have Honduras again in September, Hawaii, and I want to go to Turks and Caicos at some point next year, just 'cause that's my daughter's favorite. I just don't know when that's going to be. That might be in the fall, maybe on her fall break or something. I'm not gonna do that, Huma. If I'm gonna do pre-recorded video, I'm gonna tell you it's pre-recorded video. Like when I do when I show the Tahoe video on stream, I'm gonna plain as day. I was gonna say, hey, this is a video I took when I couldn't stream. I did the walk of the loop and got the salmon run and going. That's coming. I just gotta get. Time's been not on my side lately. I try to be. I mean, integrity is everything. I mean, if you say something or do something and you're not really that, you lose everything. So like me, I've got you have my respect until you don't, and that's kind of the way from first time I meet somebody, everybody deserving of whatever, but once you lose that, you give me something to not trust you, that's it, you're done. I mean, I'm not saying you can't get it back, but you got to move mountains to get it back. And that's all you have. So, and if you don't mind me asking, how'd you find the stream? Did you just randomly stumble upon it? I'm assuming. Well, yeah. I mean, yes, Edson, but it's not live as it's happening. That you've taken the footage. It's a narration at that point. You're just narrating. Your narration is live, but not the actual footage. Well, I'm glad I look normal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, normally what I do is I do a lot of most of the stuff I do is really IRL stuff where I go out and film out in the field from somebody. Yeah, that's not oiled up bodies. I don't. Yeah, that's not me. but I've done a lot of stuff, where I've gone out and done foot tours of towns, where I normally live. Like I said, I'm just at a hotel tonight, just for out of town for business, for the night and tomorrow, and just thought I'd come on and spend some time just chatting. But I go around and do tours of show historical stuff. I live in an area that's in Northern California where I live. It's part of the gold rush. The gold rush is smack dab there. And thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate that. And kind of give some different things. Try to blend history with what I'm doing. Try to make it interesting. Try to get some facts. I've done a couple different tours of some towns up there, and I first started streaming when I was on a trip in September to Honduras, Roatan, Honduras. Had no intention of planning on streaming, but I was sitting there. I was like, why am I not showing people this? At least my friends. Then I kind of grew from there. But I definitely appreciate that follow. Getting closer and closer to the goals. So, but those are the things I have. That, like I said, next Saturday, for sure, will be the Sutter Creek Light Parade. That'll be around. I'll put that in my Discord, the schedule. And let's see here. The schedule for that in my Discord, but I don't remember the exact starting time, but it'd be around 5:30, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So unfortunately for those in the UK, that's gonna be the middle of the night for you. But we'll stream that whole parade, start to finish. It's really a fun thing. I mean, several thousand people come down to the town, come out of the mountains, and come down to see what's going on with the parade, and it's always a great time. A lot of fun. So there's that. I'll reschedule the stream I was going to do yesterday morning at the mine in Sutter Creek. That one, not sure exactly when I'll do that one, but I'll need to get that rescheduled since I didn't make that happen. Let's see. There's I need to go up and scout out for service though, but there's Chauncey Indian Grinding Rock State Park in Pine Grove. I plan on going up there. If I can't stream there with video, like a live stream, I'll take some video and show that during stream as a pre-recorded video. Great historical site. Just, I know at the property, that just seems odd that it just did that. Sorry, it caught my attention that it did the same command several times. Yeah, it has to be it, Woody. A few streams ago at the property out in family property, I showed the grinding rock with the mortar from the Native Americans. There were the two grinding rocks there, but this one there's hundreds of them all over the place, and there's crazy. The local tribe still uses it as they have a ceremonial spot there as well. Which that part's off limits, but it's still just a really unique opportunity to see. There's that one. There's I have a list of them. I don't have it with me, but I have some different things I've been writing down, some places to go and see. Will yellow mean heavy rain? Is that what that means, Edson? Yeah. Yeah, I know it rained Wednesday night into Friday night into Saturday at my house. And I know it's supposed to rain some more this week. I don't remember what days though. That's the one thing about California being so diverse. I know we were talking about that. I don't even know what stream we were talking about that in. But like where you are down there compared to where I am, it's just such a big change. Like even where I'm at right now, I'm in Fresno at the moment for this meeting tomorrow. But the rain here compared to like where I'm at. Is minimal compared to where I live. Tons of rain. I don't even remember. I'm still trying to remember what stream that was even in, that we were talking about that. But, if anybody has any more questions, throw away. I mean, fire them away. Fire away at them. I'm happy to answer them. Best I can. Like I said, this stream I've already gone longer than I intended originally. I just wanted to kill some time and have a chance to chat with people and get caught up. You say high up. Are you like on? You got. Of course, you go to sleep, but you didn't have to be on there. Absolutely, you don't have to even be here, buddy. It's in the middle of the night for you still. I mean, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's 6 in the morning there, 5 in the morning. Who do I mod for? Let's see. JMO Piano, obviously. Mr. Piano Man Official. I was modding for Aaron W Music, but he stopped streaming. Leland. Well, I do have a. Let me think here. Am I missing somebody here? Yeah, JMO, Max, Leland, Adson. Oh, Caitlin. Caitlin loves music. Modding for her, even though she's not a real busy stream or anything, but she asked me, and I told her I'd be honored to help her. Let's see. And I do have, not really doing mod duties necessarily, but have a sword on Hounded Soul streams whenever he streams, and also Caffeine is My Drug. Those are all I think that's everybody. There might be somebody else I'm missing. Leland has been streaming a lot, yes. And his timing, I mean, I understand because time zones, but it's been hard for me to catch him. Yeah, well, yeah, some of the days too, didn't that, was that today did that? I think it was Sundays he's been doing that because of that little raid train. I know it was like last week. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I know Max asked already who's available tomorrow, and I'm like, sorry, man, I'm in a meeting all day tomorrow, so it's just not gonna work out very well. Yeah, I know Max had the charity stream yesterday. Yeah, I like to know the people I can. The song list is where it belongs. It's non-existent. I don't sing. Welcome back, Boop. Although I did say, what I say? I did say I would sing on stream when Laura got to 500 subs. Now, if my daughter was here with me, she would sing. She loves Christmas. Do we even have alert command? I don't remember. Yeah. One. A 10-year-old girl. Oh, she'll be 11 coming up soon. 3 more months. In all your travels, have you encountered supernatural like Bigfoot? No, not as far as like a cryptoid, if that's what you're asking. Do I believe in some paranormal stuff? Yes, but not. I don't know. I think that's a broad question that we could have a whole stream on, which I'd love to do sometime. I have no problem with that. I'd love to do that. Who's got 57 children? Sorry, that just caught me for a thing there. I saw 57 children pop up there. That would be a good stream, actually. I'm thinking about it. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea. It probably would have been a good one to have near Halloween or something, but still, at any time of the year is fine for a supernatural or paranormal type stream. Because there's definitely a lot of things I do believe that I was making it up. Yep, yeah, I do. Someone's got a troll since Loyalty's not here. Well, Huma's here though. No, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we did that people don't understand, and we're not there yet as far as some things go. I'm not saying I believe everything all kit and caboodle, but I really do believe there's a lot of things that man's yet to learn, mankind. Yeah, that could be Huma. I could see that. I'm open to things. I don't discount. I don't discount things just clean off the bat. So I mean, I'm always willing to hear the evidence, what happened, what it is, and make a determination of my own. Um, Many things can be explained, and there's a lot of things that can't be explained. Obviously, you know. So I'm definitely open to. I don't just carte blanche believe everything, but I'm definitely open to listening to different things. Like I said, I think that if you just look at what we discover all the time, it's in technology and different things, it's amazing. It's amazing what we're constantly discovering. I mean, hell, they finally just took a picture of that coconut rat, that foot and a half long rat. They finally got a picture of that now after all these years of saying it exists. So um, I just saw that in the news. I don't know, last 2 weeks, I think. So, but it's amazing to me that we're still finding different things. Um, Different animals, the sea. We have no clue what's in the ocean. I mean, I can tell you that already. There's just so much. There's just so much there, and obviously it's uncharted, most of it. Yeah, exactly, Homa. So I think I don't know about the aliens part, but I mean, they said what's the new terminology now? UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Um, but yeah, open mind is really important. You can't go anything with a closed mind. Just in a conversation with meeting, just talking to somebody, if you go with a closed mind, preconceived biases or subconscious bias, all these different things, you just got to clear everything out. Um, well, see, Sue, there's a lot of that's not an uncommon. What you're saying there about the octopus is not. That's not the first time I heard that. So it's octopus is a very strange creature. I mean, you have three hearts. There's different things. I mean, it's as smartest damn animal in the world. I mean, it's crazy. Not literally, but it's so crazy how smart they are, how intelligent. That's exactly right. I mean, they do look like aliens. I mean, especially stuff at depth. I mean, when you look at some of these things that are taken in the Twilight Zone or in the I can't remember what they call the other spot there where it's just completely dark. There's just really some bizarre creatures. Extremely smart. I mean, they're escape artists. They can do anything. Figure out open things, close things. And just is amazing to me. it's one of the reasons why the octopus is one of my favorite things to see. I mean, underwater, they're just. I've witnessed so many things that they've done. They're so highly intelligent. Do you think Americans family? Do you think Americans have less family values, importance of family than other cultures? Mm, no, I think some people have their priorities wrong, Huma. I think you get in a spot where people aren't celebrating family and the people they love and stuff like that compared to, um, you know, there's people that know more about celebrities than they do about their own family. I think people's priorities are wrong and very misplaced. But I think there's some people that's a very top priority. There's other people that's not a priority. I think you're probably going to find that across the globe. Well, the sea would be a good place to hide something. That's for sure. I mean, it's like I said, it is so vast as you stated. Yeah, in that aspect, so I can see in that aspect what you're talking about, Human. I'm not going to get into um, the whole thing right now, but definitely a lot of cultures have um, spoops. Thank you for the follow. Um, a lot of cultures, the family, what's the takes the village to raise a child mentality. Um, but and I like what he's saying right there is probably true. A lot of it's upbringing. I mean, if you're raised with a good family, or you're taught values. I mean, everything. I think it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. If it's your education, desires, your pursuit of your passions, everything is really boils down to um, your upbringing, how you're the respect of others. I mean, everything. So if you're not taught certain things, or you're not shown the importance of those things, I think it's going to really do. I, I I do agree with that statement, because I mean, I value my freedoms. I definitely value my individualism. Um, I don't agree with that, Huma. I don't agree with that statement at all. Now we would take a left turn here, but I think it's everything. There's just different. You have different cultures, different ways of looking at things, different way of saying things, but really everything boils down to how you're brought up. I think most things in life, like society would be a lot better if everybody spent time with, um, their families and showing the importance of the bonds. Yeah, generalization is correct. Yeah. Uh, Maybe Boop. I think generalization. Exactly. Many different type of upbringings. A single mom is going to have the child from a single mom is going to have probably some different views than somebody with two parents. Lots of different things can influence. It's a good topics tonight. It's interesting topics. I don't really ever do just chatting stream. Besides the one last week. For 10 minutes, but that was just to pop on there. Sorry, I'm just make sure I didn't miss anything on the chat there. Sorry, like I said, those of you that kind of join, so I have my other thing here, so I'm just kind of watching to make sure I'm not missing things here. So two phones set up, one for the display and the camera, and then the chat's on the other phone. So that's why I turned my head a little bit. So it's not the best setup here in the hotel, but it's working. So, and it's got a stable signal. Knock on wood. All right, Woody, get some rest, buddy. Appreciate you. Me too. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. Yeah, I think that's I'm probably not gonna get into that subject tonight, Huma, but I think that's a very complicated topic that's not easily brushed over with in just a quick discussion. I think that's a very complicated subject in general. Yeah, well, it's the yeah different attitudes is correct. I mean, there's different. It's easy to take things for granted sometimes, and I think many people do. All right, Edson, have a good night, man. Get some rest. Or I should say good morning to you now, because it's definitely early for you. Coming up on 6 a.m. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, but definitely mindsets of the I mentioned earlier, when I was in how hospitable the Mongolians were when I was there, the host family, if you will, and our host families, and just the people in general when I was in Russia. I mean, all those years ago, still in the Cold War, and they'd give you a shirt off your back. I mean, it was just incredible, just to see that. Language didn't matter, everything else didn't matter. We were just humans, humans having a good time, talking to each other and learning from each other. Everything else didn't matter. Spoops, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Just doing a little chat tonight. Not out and about like I normally would be or anything like that. So just out of town for a hotel, at a hotel. Thought I'd kill some time and just have a little chat stream. See what anybody want to talk about and Q&A or different things. Hey, buddy, Mark, how you doing? I'm down in Fresno for work, so a little closer than normal to you. I'm sure you're getting ready for the silly season with the storms. I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I have an all-day meeting tomorrow, our regional meeting. So we're down here, so I did my 3.5-hour drive and came down here. Sorry, I'm just taking off, or not taking off, but loosening my shoelaces. So I just thought I'd stream in the hotel and just, like I said, do some chatting, have some fun. It's not really cold here. I'm wearing a hoodie right now, but it's not. I mean, I don't know what it is outside of here right now, but when I left my house, I live farther north in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and it was, 40s. But here, I'm not sure what it is outside right now, but I just haven't taken this off. I could definitely probably take it off, but my truck is done. I'm getting close to readiness for the winter. Yeah, we've just been doing nonstop prep stuff for storm season. It's never ending. As it gets closer to this year, there's a lot of things you're doing just to get ready for stuff. Well, we've already been getting snow already, Sue. So I mean, it depends on what you mean on the West Coast, but you mean like coming up this week? Because I know this. I don't know how many. I don't know how many storms I've had, but I haven't got any snow at my house yet. But just right up the road from me, we've had. I don't know, probably half a dozen snows now, snowfalls. It's that time of year. Usually over where I'm at, usually it's not till like January, February, where I mean, I guess if there's enough, a big enough cold snap came through, I guess it could be. But generally, we're just right above that threshold, so it doesn't quite snow. Oh, awesome, man! Thanks for joining Discord. Yeah, there's two sections in there for pictures. One's pics and memes, and there's other one's like scrapbook. Scrapbook's more for like trips, but pics and memes is for just general pictures and things like that. But thanks for joining. Yeah, there should be some. Well, I just hope it's nothing like last winter. That last winter was just a brutal beatdown. I do not want to deal with that again. That was pretty bad. Yeah, we have numerous snowcats for the company. Then we have them. Each division has some, and then we have them in different yards. We don't. Two of our mountain yards, because I'm responsible for 4 yards. Two of them have. One of them snowcat in it, and the other one has a snowcat kind of up above it. They're saying 1,200 foot elevation for snow, Huma? Is that what you're saying? I hope not. I haven't caught that. If so, that would be ugly. Well, even if it just dusts, I mean, if it dusts at that point, it's not too bad. But those of you that kind of wondering what in the world I'm talking about, so I work for electric utility, and Mockage works for just communication stuff. So storms definitely affect both of us. Yeah, storms. I'm not looking forward to storm season. It's just if they're anything like last year, that was just miserable. Basically 3 months nonstop work. Which will really impact. I mean, I've already been rained out on a couple streams. I wanted to stream IRL streams, so that's gonna make it real tough. Yeah, I'll look, Sue, too, because we have our own. I'll look in the mornings because we have our meteorologists and stuff that watch things because it's real important. It's. I mean, if it was like once, boop, I mean, you'd probably be great. I mean, you'd probably love to death. But if you get it all the time and it creates the problems it creates, when you get, I mean, last year was kind of crazy around here. But when you've got 20+ feet on the ground, not where I live, but just up the road from me, that's just insane. To have that much snowfall. Yeah, it kind of depends. It's really going to watch. Yeah, the El Nino pattern is going to be kind of a weird one. So it's going to be really have to pay attention to what's. And there should be a nice little. I don't want to say little quick definitive line because it can vary, but it'll definitely make a difference in some of the areas. But it's yeah. Last year was just miserable for the snow. It was just nonstop snow. Yeah. No, when you have that much, I mean, it snows, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet at one time. Boop, it's just miserable. You can't get anywhere. You can't do anything, and it just wreaks havoc on everything. Trees are down everywhere. Yeah, but usually when it gets to that point, that's when the rubber hits the road and I'm into work. I mean, it's all hands on deck at that point. Everybody's going, trying to get things going, restored. Ontario, Canada, I'm assuming. The only reason I asked that because I know there's Ontario, Oregon, there's Ontario, Canada, there's actually Ontario, California as well. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, it's pe- people don't. Like I said, this came up the other day in a stream. I don't even know it's escaping what stream it was, but everybody's got this vision of California being palm trees and beaches, and it is not that. I mean, we have everything. We've got the lowest point in the continental United States in the Death Valley, or North America. We've got the highest point in the continental United States with Mount Whitney. We've got beaches, we've got mountains, we've got deserts, we've got everything. So, and the Sierra Nevadas get just crazy amounts of snow. Spoops, thank you for being in here. I appreciate you. Have a good evening or morning wherever you're at. But the amount of snow that the Sierra Nevadas gets, it gets crazy in the depth. I mean, the snow never even melted this year in a lot of spots. I mean, it just never melted. So, and just now it's all covered in snow again out there already. So, last year was definitely a one for the books. I mean, all the reservoirs, because we went from several years of drought, all the reservoirs are filled up. I mean, some of you might have seen pictures of Lake Oroville or Lake Shasta. It's just it was a crazy winter. Crazy winter. I mean, I was really concerned for a while there about my house flooding. I mean, the creek behind my house, I've seen it turn into a river before, but it was, I mean, nice thing is I'm the highest house on the block, but I mean, neighbors, the people on the other side of the creek, their houses all got flooded out. I was just a little bit higher, and it didn't happen to me. But it was just torrential river. I mean, I don't mean a little river, I mean a huge river. So, but the amount of water we had, the amount of snow we had, the crazy amount of wind we had, numerous storms over 100 miles an hour winds. Definitely a winter to remember. I won't forget that one for a long time. So, yeah, but we've been having prep meetings with the counties, Caltrans, different things like that, just kind of prepping ahead of time. We usually do that every winter, or previous to winter. Yeah. Yeah, I got friends that live there in Salinas. What's the area they live in? Toro Park. But he's one of my good buddies is sells seeds, to the farmers and stuff like the lettuce seeds and things like that, peppers, lettuce, things like that. Of course, Salinas area has basically become they call it the salad bowl for the country now. Much of the lettuces and different things like that are grown in that general vicinity. But luckily we didn't have too many levees break over here this time. We've had some years we had a lot of levees from the Delta break and just make a lot of stuff. Kind of crazy. I wish how they did it with all the water coming down. I have no idea. It was insane. Like I said, it's all posted in Discord. The schedule for the light parade next Saturday night, which will be the 9th. Like I said, that's going to be roughly around 5:30, 6:30. Once I find the actual time that's supposed to start. And I'll probably start about 20 minutes before the parade starts. That's my next for sure stream. Like I said, I just got to narrow down the time. Yeah, so there's not like Disneyland light parade, but people dress their trucks up, horses, dogs, people, vehicles, you name it. People put lights on it, and it's a big to do up in the county. Generally, 2,000-3,000 people come to watch the parade. I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, Christmas parade, exactly. It's a lot of fun. But it's a rain or shine event. Last year though, they did not do it, so it canceled because of COVID. They did some other weird thing that didn't work out the next year. Last year was the first year they've actually canceled it for weather, and that was only because we were forecasted to have 80, 80 plus mile an hour winds, and that which we did get bad winds, so they canceled it. No, not as in the parade, but I'll be behind the camera. But I'd be set though if it got really really bad. I could throw my wetsuit on and all my stuff and breathe through any downpours. Not be too bad. I do dive. I'm a very avid scuba diver. Oh, awesome. I don't know, Boop. That sounds almost sus. Um, yeah, the I've been diving for 17, 18 years in or Hawaii or whatnot. My last trip was in yeah, I didn't do anything since then. So September was I was in Roatan, Honduras. Actually, Cocoa View Resort. That's I'll be back there again next September. We go there. A bunch of us go there every year. I don't know about hard. It's just it's not easy. I mean, but it's not hard by any stretch of the imagination. They don't just give it to you. But as long as you know what's going on, um, I have not. I have not. I'm cold water, and I am not a giant fan of. But however, I'm going to do it because I do want to get in the kelp, keeping you safe, and then your demonstration of skills. But a lot of people, where what I've seen a lot of people, because I've seen so many people trying to get certified over the years, is they just panic when they just get that regulator in their mouth underwater, and they freak out, and some people it's just they just can't get past that mental thing about breathing underwater, and they just panic. But that's exactly right. You just breathe. You just breathe, not through your nose, through your mouth. Um, so if you're breathing through your nose, I mean your mask is going to be over your that, so you're not all you know is going to suck your mask into your face. Um, Hate deep water. Yeah, see, I don't mind the water. I mean, I've been in Hawaii where you're thousands of feet below you. I mean, you no way in the world could you ever see bottom. But that doesn't bother me. That part doesn't bother me one bit. The only thing where I've always struggled with is cold water. I just, ooh, but there's, put the right wetsuits on. I don't really want to get into dry suit diving at this point in my life career, but maybe sometime. But but knowing, I mean, Boop, you already know what one of the things I want to dive with, and that's, great white. And so I'm going to need to start getting. Odds of that's probably going to be somewhere with a little colder water, since you can't drive in or dive in. The island near Mexico, Guadalupe. Yeah, so I took my not this trip, but the trip before I had my I think it was just my 5 mil suit, and I took that down to Honduras, and I roasted the first dive. I took it off after the first dive, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to my swim trunks and my rash guard because it was just too damn hot. But oh, I like the warm water diving just because that you can go down a t-shirt and shorts, literally, and not get cold. Well, I mean, because you could depending on how deep you are and what you're doing, but I can I dive an hour frequently underwater, at depth, and sometimes longer, and rarely ever do I ever even get a chill. But you're also diving in 80 something degree water, so it's sometimes high 70s. But just very comfortable. Yeah, more free is exactly right. So I mean, you don't have the restrictions of the wetsuit. You don't have as much weight on you to counteract the buoyancy of the wetsuit. But it's I don't know. Like I said, I just need to get in the Pacific and just do it. I've just never been a fan of cold water. That's never been my thing. But I've got to say I've done it. If nothing else, I need to get out to Catalina and do some lobster diving or something, or even some spearfishing. But no, diving is just is one of my is my passion. I mean, it really is. There's nothing when you're underwater. Just all the stress is gone. Just, you're focused on what you're doing. You're taken somewhere else. Really, I mean, mentally and physically. You don't need Wi-Fi underwater. Yeah, you are in another world. You really are, and it's. Maybe I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you can't do it. So you don't have all those electronic distractions. So it's it really is another world. I mean, just the different life forms you see, the different fish, the different whether it's cephalopods, nudibranchs, whatever. Lobsters, crabs, just the wild, the fish, the aquatic life. I almost said wildlife, but plus it's just so serene. I mean, it's just you, and you're really just focused on what you're doing. You're relaxed because it's like I mentioned earlier. You're not trying to get race here, race there, do this, do that. You're just so relaxful. I mean, I bet I should take some stuff just to test it, my theory, but I bet if I took my blood pressure at the beginning of a trip and then took it at the end of the trip, it's probably dramatically less, or noticeably less, I should say. But it's just it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the peace you find, the serenity you find when you're underwater. It is relaxing. It is relaxing, and it's for the body and for the mind. I mean, it really is. I mean, some people you get a little tired stuff from breathing the air and stuff like that, and the nitrox is a little better than straight air, but it's I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's not as silent as you think. Oop. I mean, you're hearing different. There's. It's not like it's not like you're deaf. It's just you're hearing things. I mean, fish make noises. Other divers make noises. You're making noise with your bubbles. You're hearing. You could hear a boat motor way off in the distance. You can hear different things, but it's different noise, and it's not like it's loud and obnoxious or anything like that. Maybe if a boat's passing right above you, but it's just not. It's not quiet. Well, it depends on what you're doing, Huma. I mean, I prefer. It depends. Like I said, because you can't go as deep with nitrox as you can with just straight air, but if you can go, if I'm on nitrox, I can be underwater a lot. I can be underwater a lot longer. But I'm not going to go as depth. If I'm going to go, depending on what I'm doing, maybe 114 feet tops, depending on the nitrox percentage. But, in theory, I could go 130 feet with my certification level on air. Granted, when you're at that depth, you have limited time at the bottom, your bottom time, because your air will just, the deeper you are in the compression of the air, you go through air fast at time. So, no, you have multiple tanks. So when you go let's say on a dive boat, you typically have two tanks. Usually it's a 2-tank dive typically. doesn't mean both tanks are going with you at the same time. So you go do the one dive, you go down the bottom, do your time, do your safety stop, come back up, then you have a surface interval. That surface interval, you change tanks, you do all that stuff, then you're going to go back down again. After because the longer you have for the surface interval, the better. Get rid of any remaining nitrogen in your blood. Yeah, and some boats do have refill stations, especially like liverboards, and stuff like that. But it's so you're basically limited to your air. There's some other things too, because you don't want to have buildup of nitrogen in your blood. Yeah, boat crews usually do a lot of stuff like that. They'll make that swap for you. Like when I'm doing certain dives, we do a little. I've done some dives that are a little crazier with current and stuff like that, and some really deep stuff. We'll set two tanks. We'll have two tanks suspended from ropes. We had one at 75 feet for one dive I did, and another one was at 15 feet. But I was sitting there right at about 125 feet at a wreck in really heavy current. That was off of, we were at Grenada, is where that dive was. But that was just for safety, so something happened, whatever. And because of the depth and what we're doing, we we planned our dive to have, instead of just the one safety stop at 15 feet for 3 minutes, we stopped down at 75 feet. Went up, stopped 75 feet. I can't remember how long we did that. Then we came back up and then did the other stop there, just to be on the safe side. Because you really don't want to get nitrogen narcosis. It's the last thing in the world you want to get. And you can actually get, you can have toxicity from oxygen too. You run that risk too when you're running a higher blend of oxygen in your tanks, like with nitrox. Although it's less likely, as long as you're paying attention and checking your blends and everything's you'll be fine. But safety's the big precaution. One of the things I did, because normally you're always going to dive with a buddy, and I've been there, so I know it really well. And you would say, okay, I might go out for a dive by myself, but it teaches you all the different things that you need to do do that smartly. Because you can go, you take a redundant mask with you, you're taking redundant other things with you, you all these different things. So if something fails, you have it. I've done a lot of stuff too where I can, I've been underwater. I think that was 5 minutes. 5 minutes we were underwater without a mask, swimming around in salt water. So yeah, when you start doing things a lot, Huma, it becomes. So if you don't dive for quite a while, you typically, like say over a year, they like to do a refresher, make sure you can at least just demonstrate some basic skills. A lot of time that could be just in a pool. That would just give you some of your basic things. But most of the things are just, at this point, I'm over 200 dives at this point now, but and I really got crazy into that with the last few years, but you get, exactly, Sue. It's like muscle memory. So I could be at 100 feet of water, lose my mask, and not even think about it. Not even panic. It could come off. I can get it back on. If it comes off or I can't find it, but usually there's somebody around me that's going to say, "Hey, here's your mask," and whatever. I wouldn't run out of air, but if I did run out of air, I know what to do. But let's say a technical difficulty of some sort, a failure, mechanical failure, which is unlikely because I keep my gear serviced and checked all the time before I go. After I go, have it cleaned properly. You've got redundant ways to take oxygen in, air, spare regulators, something called octo, with you. So, this one fails, you got this other one, boom, or somebody else, there's a lot of training for that. Even at depth, if something happens, you need to kick up and blow air the whole time, and there's things to do there. There's, I can take my True Paradox. Good to see you, buddy. I could take off my BC underwater at the bottom and get it all back on, the whole kit. So, not with the way I dive now. I want to do that? No, because because my I have weight integrated BC. So BC is the buoyancy control device, your jacket, if you will, that your tank mounts to. But all that stuff, I can take that off underwater and not think twice about it. So it's just repetition and practice, and you become good at it. Because even when I'm just doing regular dives, I'm always practicing something. I'm practicing a lost regulator. I'm practicing this. I'm practicing that. Um, um, the just different things to help your skills. Um, Unfortunately, probably the thing I pick the most is trash, boop. So I have a little bag I carry with me. Um, if I find trash, some idiot throw something overboard or whatever, or depending on where you are in the world, you're um, some places, you have lots of plastics making it into the ocean just from rivers or whatnot. So I've not found anything really cool yet. Um, Not diving in that way. I found things cool in freshwater, sniping and just snorkeling around. It is sad. It's very sad, very annoying. But you just do what you can. You see something, you just pick it up. We've been surface intervals before, and like even this last trip, I think I did it 3 times. All of a sudden it's like, we're just motor's not on like that. You just jump. I jump right in, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I come back, and oh, there's a little piece of plastic or something that was floating in the ocean or something like that. I do everything I can to get it out of there. I know Sue knows about it too, but I mean, these little bracelets here, but there's 3 of them there. But it's a company called 4Ocean. But you can buy a bracelet. I mean, and that funds removal of trash out of the ocean, all over the world at this point. Um, so I heavily support them, and I know Sue knows about them because we've had that conversation about. But I don't know. I've got probably 20 different bracelets at home. But now, so you buy a bracelet, and it's used to be 1 pound of trash. Now because they got things so well, you've got it's 5 pounds for every bracelet. Um, well, the bad thing is, so that the octopus, there's many occasions, and there's been videos and stuff. Mr. Drum Machine, thank you for the follow. Uh, where octopus have taken up, because they'll take up residence in different things, any little holes. I mean, because octopus are crazy. I mean, they can get through the top of this water bottle here. A big octopus can actually get it. Decent sized octopus can actually get in this water bottle. I mean, they're basically only limited to the size of their beak. They can get in there, but they've they'll set up homes in trash and different things. But it's I'm always on the lookout. That's my number one thing I'm looking for is what's not natural down there that I can remove, improve the environment. Whether I'm in the woods or whether I'm in the ocean, it's always, how can I leave it better than I found it? That's the most important thing to me. But the octopus, they're smart enough, but it's if I had a saltwater aquarium, it would have an octopus in it. No questions asked. That is my favorite creature. Yeah, it is really amazing, Sue. I think they're at I think I saw over 30 million pounds right now. Co-Dragons, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, but it's here as much, but in other countries, the Huma, it's you have a lot of countries where infrastructure is not set up properly. What someone might call third world countries, but you've got all the trash. There's no real good place for waste pickup, and all the stuff's there. It's there, and heavy rains come and takes it into the rivers, and we'll just wash it out to sea. Whether that's Central South America, Asia, Africa, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's all over the world. I mean, U.S. things happen, and you look at just different things, even like, let's say a hurricane. Hurricane comes in and levels a city. All that stuff is getting washed back out to sea. Yeah, that stuff. There's no tolerance. I have no tolerance for that kind of stuff, Sue. It just blows me away. Boop, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad I feel better too. But it's always great to see you. Thank you. But yeah, it's really sad. So when I was in Honduras this last time, there was so I was in Roatan, Honduras. So I can't remember 30 miles. I think it's 30 miles off the coast of mainland. But they were having some crazy storms on the mainland, and we were actually seeing the ramifications of that over on the island. Just some of the stuff being swept out from the main, from the rivers out into the ocean. It's kind of sad. But on shore, there was actually quite a Roatan, the biggest source of money, really of income, is tourism, and most specifically the ocean and diving. And so there's a lot of people there that will they'll do walk around, pick up stuff on the beaches and shorelines. It's to their advantage to understand that, but it is kind of and it's a touchy subject for me, because it really bugs me. 'Cause, seeing all the stuff in the ocean, because I see it just on dives. You just see it, and it's heartbreaking. Kind of the questions you guys have, or topics here. There's been some good ones. I don't know about that, Huma. Some yes, some no, but it's everywhere. That's everywhere, though. You go all over the world. I've been numerous places around the globe, and they were amazing, Boo. They were great. Tacos are always great. Um, so the all over the world. It's just you just see people just throw things in the ground and just different things. But it's mentality of what to do with it and how to treat it. Um, I'm exploring a hotel room because I have a business meeting tomorrow. So I'm in the hotel room tonight. No worries, buddy. Um, so I was just killing some time having a just a chat stream instead of an actual out and about stream. I know I missed something. Yeah, I still do that to this day, Sue. So what I don't throw them in the trash though. You can actually, like grocery stores that'll accept plastic bags and stuff. They will actually accept those now, but I do still cut them. Um, there was another something else. Um, California's Lost Coast. So it depends on what you mean by Lost Coast. So I've been up and down the whole, like from Mexico to Oregon on the coast. No, that's a good idea, Huma. I agree with that. I'm that way too now. So we don't have street sweepers where I live. So I pick up trash from out. Even on my streams, you guys have seen me pick up things on the ground. I know in the Jackson stream, I picked up several things. Yeah, that doesn't mean there's not trash out there. Because unfortunately, a lot of stuff happens is, you see it along the freeways or highways and stuff like that. You get to speed and people have things in the back of their trucks or cars or whatever. They're not secured properly, where it's open, and they could blow out. That happens frequently. You get some idiots that will throw. Um, what part of Central Coast? But I think everybody has a responsibility. It's just near Fort Bragg. Okay, yeah. So I was up. Yeah, I was up at Fort Bragg area, and that's what I thought you were talking about, because the Lost Coast Brewing Company's up there. But I was up that way in, let's say, Point Arena in June. Well, janitor is an important job. Yeah, actually in Fort Bragg, I went to Glass Beach in June. No, I think a janitor and landscaper is just as important as any other job. Um, Custodian, however you want to call them. Everybody has their role, and everything's just as important. I don't think there's any bad jobs. So, and anybody that I've never understood people that will degrade somebody just because of what they have, what their job is. That is supposed to happen in parts of DC businesses. Yeah, we'll see. Homa, thanks for the bits. Appreciate that. Okay, that sounds good. Like I said, I was up there, like I said, Point Arena, Mendocino, Fort Bragg, 3 or 4 days. Um, that was in June. Yeah, but I like that area. It's really cool. It's gorgeous, gorgeous up there. Yeah, it's. I agree. I would, if I had to dig ditches, I would dig ditches. If I had to muck stalls, in a barn, you do what you got to do. There's, you know, being prideful and being broke, or being, whatever. It, there's no shame in just doing what you need to do. You do what you need to make it happen, and there's nothing wrong with whatever that is. Yeah, well, there's a lot of, and I think there's too many people that push people to go to universities, or colleges, different things, because there's many things that are still needed. I mean, you're going to have a huge imbalance, I think, at some point in time. You need people in the service industry. You need people that have the skills and the trades. You know, carpentry, plumbing, electricians, welding, you name it. Um, there's a lot of different things. People's skills are needed. With auto mechanics, the sky's the limit. People need it. HVAC technicians. It's not all tech and everything like that. People think that that's the way it needs to be, and there's such a huge focus on that. Now, there's no shame in learning a skill, learning a trade. Yeah, house builders. Yeah, I've done different trades. That's been me too. I mean, I've kind of been all over. I mean, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, roofers, plumbers, electricians, road people doing roads, people doing pouring concrete, just all these different things. Painters, you name it. Like I said, auto mechanics, body shop mechanics. Just so that everything's the limit. There's no limit to what's needed, and there's no shame in that. They're all respectable. Exactly, Homa. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Everybody should be celebrated. There's no room in the world to put people down for what they're, just because of a job they have. I have more respect for a man that's got or a woman, that's got a job than the person who's just sitting there not even attempting, because that type of job is beneath them. There's no room for that, in my opinion. I even hate using this. I left my stinking um, my water bottle, the metal one, reusable one, went off and left it at my house. So I was not too happy about that. So I had to get a bottle of water. Any more questions? Anybody have any questions? If there's no more questions, we'll end it. If not, or get close to wrapping up. I like if you mean plastic like this, I would say no. But if you say plastic like the kind that's, um, like harder plastic, reusable stuff like that, I totally agree. Depending what I'm doing, like when I was doing one of the streams, what stream was it? When I did the Veterans Day stream, that for that parade, I had a water bottle and I had my little aluminum thermos, or, full of coffee because it was kind of cold that morning. But yeah, the plastic water bottles are great. Reusable water bottles. But there's see if you guys have any more questions or whatnot. Like, if not, we'll wrap things up here shortly, regardless. And I appreciate everybody that's been here and been on, and all the engagement, the questions. I've enjoyed answering the questions. It's kind of nice to get that for a change. I know it may not be the most interesting stream, but it's actually been fun just because it's been different. And I'll be glad to look in Discord later and check out what you put in there for the pictures and for the Lost Coast. Be cool. Me personally, with the event's big enough, it'll be anywhere in our service territory, but generally it's just our division. That area runs up around Stockton and up in the mountains, and could be the valley too. Angels Camp, Jackson, Stockton, Antica, that area. But like I said, depending on what the severity is, I could go anywhere that's in our territory. And I would, like last year, I did go that. What'd you say? I have a stainless steel one that keeps my ice water really cold and ice still for a long time, but now the company isn't around anymore. Yeah, there's many different brands, stuff like that. I have several different brands. I mean, quite a few of them are Yetis from early on, so they actually still work like there's no tomorrow. But now there's so many different brands, and they're all great. Yeah, Angels Camp. Angels Camp is nice. It's that area that goes that we have farther up that altitude. Oh, cool. Yeah, because it goes all the way up to Bear Valley up on that side, where we've got services up there. But on let's say the Jackson side, we don't go as high in elevation, so there can be a lot more damage sometimes on the Angels Camp side in the snow, just because it gets higher elevation. Although last year it didn't seem to matter because it was snow where it normally doesn't snow, and lots of it. But I'm going to probably wrap this up here shortly, because like I said, I've got. I typically get up around 3:30, so it's about 5 hours from now. So it'll probably be a little bit later than that tomorrow morning. So I do have the meeting I have to go to at 6:30. You nurse is a hobby now. That's right. You're the best BDMAN, best Discord mom and nurse. I don't remember what I was trying to say. Oh, I got that meeting tomorrow at 6:30. Yeah. So then tomorrow's gonna be a long day. So got the meeting all day. Then I'll have to drive back up the let's say 3.5 hours to get back up to the house area, and then get up to my daughter's school for her Christmas concert. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be exciting. So it'll be a first time me actually seeing her play the flute, besides a little bit of practice stuff, but actually trying to play. So we'll see how that goes, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Any chance I can support her, I'm always game for. Yeah, no, I enjoy just chatting. it's fun. It's fun just to talk and chat and see, like, especially just kind of spur of the moment, just kind of whatever pops up. But there's some, really good things that pop up. The women's brought up some great things. Rain had a great idea, which I think would probably be worth exploring some other time. And with her supernatural, or like or paranormal. I mean, there's a lot of different things there, because a lot of different people believe different things, and it wouldn't be bad to have a stream, just talk about that, and people can tell their stories, and as long as everybody's respectful of other people's. Sorry, I was just plugging in my charger for the phone. Respectful of other people's beliefs. I'm always down for that. So, yeah, I'm glad you were here. I did too, Rain. So that's my daughter's favorite. Like I said, she's be 11 in February. Her favorite show on TV is Skinwalker Ranch. So it kind of tells you what she likes. And I don't really watch much TV, but that's really the only show I ever watch. And that's because she likes to watch, and I watch it with her. But I used to watch a lot of Ancient Aliens. I just don't have time for TV anymore. Yeah, no, it's good. It's yeah, adventure discussions are really fun. So anyhow, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of wrap this up a little bit here too. Let me just take a peek. I don't even know who's even on anymore right now. Let's just take a look. I'm just trying to get a feel for who's on. Yeah, I am too. Ancient Aliens intrigues me a lot, Sue. I mean, it's the whole show. I'm blind to everything lock, stock, and barrel. But what lock, stock, and barrel? Excuse me. What I do like to see is all the history. All the different things there. It's just obviously the spin is a little different here about potential influences. But I mean, it doesn't matter what you're talking. Ancient Americas, ancient, Egypt, Africa, just anywhere in the world, any of the old stuff. I'm sorry, my brain's a little bit fried here, a little tired, but there's some good, really good stuff to see and learn. I've learned a lot of different things there, and about different sites. Then I could research them on my own, too. So I really enjoy that. Yeah, history is always my history and science, kind of like this. Alaska historian, that's awesome. History probably was my best thing, where I could just wing it, and that's the only one time I really got in trouble at the school was, well, real trouble at school, is we had I think I was in sophomore year. Yeah, I think it was sophomore year. The history teacher, I was trying to think here. The history teacher went out on some medical thing, and we had this long-term sub for the whole year. But she came in. It was start of World War II discussion. That might have been. It might have been freshman year. It doesn't matter the year. It doesn't matter. But right off the bat, and she's talking about Pearl Harbor getting bombed on December 7th, 1942, and of course that didn't go very well with me, because I used to read extensively because of the history, as we talked earlier in the stream, about both my grandfathers and even one of my grandmothers serving in World War II, and just the history of that. So I used to do a lot of reading on that, and just everything I could consume I would read. And of course, I corrected her in class, and she didn't like that too much, and that led to some other different things. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, Big Sur, just that's a gorgeous area down there. It's too bad the highway is always collapsing into the ocean, um, in that area. But it's really a beautiful area of the coast. No, but we'll definitely have to. Last one still around has been Big Sur. Yeah, that's just really a. Yeah, it's just the California coast is just incredible. I mean, everybody thinks of beaches, and it's more than that. It's a jagged, rocky coastline. It really is, and it's just gorgeous. You know, Highway One has got to be one of the most beautiful roads there is. I mean, granted, it's got some stuff where you're going through whatever, but man, just it's a slow going bastard, but it sure is a beautiful road. Pacific Coast Highway, just gorgeous. But yeah, we'll kind of, like I said, we'll kind of get going here. I'm just trying to look and see who's kind of been on. Um, kind of looking some different things here. Oh, I'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed regardless. Oh, that's awesome. That's your father in Alaska. Yeah, I've always wanted to go down Jade Beach and look for that. I've never done that. I've heard a lot of things about it, and that really would intrigue me because I've actually heavily into collecting minerals and specimen pieces. Um, from out and about. Even from my prospecting time. Looking for stuff. Eyes are always looking for something. Different minerals, different crystals, many different things. So, so I've trying to debate here about who I want to raid, but I'm just kind of looking here. Um, Give me 1 second here. Let me check some things out. Go to. I'm just trying to look and see how long they've been on. I think let's see about going to yeah, I'll definitely hit you up, especially if you're in Discord to get a hold of you easier. Um, Definitely. I think yo, Erica, how you doing? We're just kind of getting close to wrapping up, but good to see you. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I definitely look forward to looking for that in Discord. It'll be fun. Ah, next flight. Different country, or you still in the same country? And if you don't want to say on here, that's fine too. So I'm guessing it's probably 11. Depending on where you are, 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning down there, probably. Yeah, it's late there. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so not knowing exactly where you are, I was basing it on where you were for a good chunk of that in Brazil. Um, let's see here. So on your way to the third. See, I'm very envious because that's right up my alley. Um, I'm doing great. Um, just was a little bit off yesterday. Wasn't feeling very well, so did a lot of resting and sleeping, and didn't stream the 2 streams I was gonna do. Um, and today drove quite a ways from the house, about 3.5 hour drive to get down to where I'm at. I have a meeting in the morning tomorrow, And so I came down the night before, so I don't have to try to do that. Yeah, destination's perfect spot. So glad you kind of figured that out. Um, yeah, today has been really good. I've been feeling pretty good. I have all my energy. Yesterday I didn't feel very energetic, real sluggish, just off. So I was going to stream in the morning, and I was going to stream Los Posadas per session last night. But just decided against that just because I wasn't feeling too great. Then got to the hotel here tonight and thought, what the hell, why not? Kill some time, stream, just chat, have some fun, talk to people. It's been a really good stream. Especially since I don't normally chat, just chat. So. Yeah, it was good to have everybody here. It really is. I don't know. I was debating about so either going to, I don't know if he's still going or not. I mean, it looks like he is, Steggy or even Mitch. Either one. Oh, Sand Experiment, she's on. That's a different. He was here earlier, Erica, for a little bit, and he just left. I don't know, 45 minutes ago. Yeah. Mitch. Yeah, he'll be streaming. I wake up. What kills me is I'll see he streams. I mean, obviously he's streaming like a couple of days a week, and his streams have been a little bit different too, especially since he started the DJ stuff too. But I'll go to bed, and 5 hours later I wake up and he's still streaming. It's crazy. Yeah, it is high energy the whole time. So but he's such an awesome guy. So if I do there, it doesn't mean you gotta stay either. I was wondering what clean tap was. I was like, tap water? Yeah, it is the place. Insomniac_rap, that's what it is. You follow Mockage, you said, as well? Or follow who? Because there's a couple different things going on there. Mitch, yeah. No, I've been Mitch for quite a long time now. Yeah, and I'm trying to think when the first time. I don't think the first. Maybe the first time was after the 500K stream for Frank Tedesco. We got the 500,000 on YouTube. I think we went there, and they gave. It's when I got the nickname Slinky Dog from Toy Story, and then Mr. Wood, because we came up with Mr. Woody, and Laura came over and she's Bo Peep. Yeah, kicking and streaming. So I think I'm actually going to do something a little different from all you guys. I'm not going to tell you until you get there because it's a different stream, and it's fun. So why don't you let me see here. Sorry, Fade, if you can put in type in exclamation raid and exclamation sub raid for me, and if everybody would copy a raid call, then I will appreciate you guys pasting that when we get over there. Like I said, if you're a subscriber, oh shoot, I get that the bot needs to be subbed. I'll have to fix that later. So just copy it, just a raid call. So I have to like I said, I meant to sub that bot later. I'm not. It's a little hard for the way I'm doing this right here. Copy. Yeah, it should still work if a person subbed. Yeah, if a person subbed, it'll still work. 'Cause those codes will work. But if it's StreamYard does need a sub, yeah, it must have ran out. I wasn't paying attention. I would have got that already. I'll catch that later. No big deal. So if you guys want to hang on, I'll take you over, and I think you'll really enjoy this. It's different. I'm going to warn you that, but I enjoy it very much. So let me make sure she's still on. Yeah. So anyhow, if you guys hang on, we're going to go over to Sand Experiment. Anna's pretty amazing. So that's my Excel streamer. Yeah. No. So she does sand art. So it's actually very relaxing. Oh, cool, Erica. Yeah, it's I don't even know how I found her. It's been there for a while, but really relaxing and just very impressive. Yeah, Huma's gonna do a stream on macros pretty soon and pivot tables. So, but the yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, my circle. I mean, I have a big, huge people amount of people I look at, but I mean, my regulars are obviously Frank Tedesco, JMO Piano, Mitch, my living room, Colleen Dauncey. I know this. I'm just forgetting a whole bunch more here, but that's kind of where it started before. Music is code. But yeah, we're getting ready to go, so I'll see you guys over there. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, and have a good night. And I appreciate you guys placing those raid calls. Thank you. Did it not go? Why does it look like it didn't go?